Thanks for the opportunity to share a little of my journey. I got married at age 21. Age 22, I moved into my house at West Green, and I worked at courts for 19 years. Started out as a filing clerk and was at the point where I was relieved branch manager. Courts had 3 branches then, and then start expanding. And at that time, I just got uncomfortable with the job. So I went to a conference where Dr. Miles Monroe was a speaker, and he was sharing on understanding your potential. And out of that, I realized that I always love to cook and always love to share and things like that. So I was still at course, and I went and enrolled into a catering school, did a course, started preparing to open a restaurant. At that time, it was at Blue Diamond, they were building. So I ended up paying down for the restaurant and, start preparing. Plans changed. We went to Caribbean Christ for the Nation, my husband and myself, because he was always involved in food, working in hotels. So I went to Caribbean Christ for the Nation to do the catering there. We spent 6 years there. And then management changed. So we left there and went back to Blue Diamond and started the restaurant there. After McDonald's came to Jamaica, they knocked us out of business. So we moved to our home in Coral Gardens, sold the house at West Green, moved to Coral Gardens. So we didn't have anywhere to put all these things for the restaurant, so they were all over the place. So we decided that we're going to put on a kitchen and a storeroom. And after reaching to the top where they're casting it now, I said to the contractor, what about getting 2 rooms on top? And he said, yes, you can get that. So out of that, you'd say disappointment with the closing of the restaurant, and that out of that came the opportunity where we were able to do a kitchen, storeroom, 3-bedroom on top, a studio at the bottom, and living and dining. So I see where disappointment can bring opportunity. So now that I was my husband and myself, we were on our own, not working for government or anybody. We were just doing our own business. We started investing bonds and in stocks and, doing like insurance, Omni and Scotia Mint, getting policies with Sancor and other insurance companies. And we went on and on until I started doing concessionaire for Heart Trust. So I was at the campus at Flankers. I spent 21 years there until the soldiers take over. So I would cater for the trainees there, and I was there for about 15 years. And then I went to Half Moon, and I did 7 years at Half Moon, running the staff canteen and doing the meals. And in the same time, I would do my weddings and things like those. So during all this time, I would save and use from my savings to do some of these projects, or I would go to the bank and get a loan or, things like that, and be able to do what we're doing. We used to do the weddings on my lawn, but whenever it is rainy season, we'd lose a lot of business. And I'm a person who loves to pray, and I pray and I believe God, and God makes the provision for us to get a property in Ironshore. And that property, we were able to build 11-bedroom, a big banquet room, and space there that we can do our weddings and other functions. So out of it, I am involved in my community, in the community, the association. I do devotions at the Car Gardens police station for the last 2 years from my church teamwork. 3 of us go to the police station on a Monday morning and we do devotion. I used to be involved in feeding the street people. I did that for about 10 years with Paul Blake's ministry. Would prepare the meals on a Sunday, box it out, and they would pick it up and serve the street people. So I'm always involved. At this stage in my life, at 68 years old, I don't feel sick. I am not sick. So I am slowing down and I have put things in place I can earn. At this point, I don't have savings, but I have property, the property at Anjou, and I have rooms, apartments at my home that I can collect something from monthly, can pay my bills, and be able to take us through. So we are not there yet, but we are still working, and a lot of things that I do, I do courses like in catering, different baking, different catering courses. You know, if I see a course being offered by Heart or other places, I get involved and learn something. So I just don't sit and depend on the staff alone. I can do, you know, involved in it. And I love what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. And because of that, I feel strong and I'm still going on. I don't know if in the coming year or two, if I will retire, but I'm making plans for that. I would encourage the younger ones to, whatever you're going in, try understand it, try learn it, especially if you are going to be having a business for yourself. Try learn what you are getting in, because there are times when staff don't show up and you have to go into that kitchen and prepare the meals and you have to do what you have to do. You know, so it is important that you get training and you understand what you are doing. Another thing, take your vacation. You know, there are times when you have to just take a break. And I would encourage us to take your vacation, get some rest, and just don't keep going. Get your rest. I would encourage others that, you know, one of the things that I did, I use my cash instead of going to the bank every time. I don't know if others would want to do that, because when I look at having the money in the bank and have to be paying this big interest and sometimes the headache that you go through to get a loan, I just go ahead and use what I have. So you don't owe a lot of people. You know, it might be just one institution that you have a loan with. So that was what I did. But I would encourage others to invest in bonds, invest in fixed deposits, invest in stocks. Last year was a rough year because the corona came and, you know, the businesses, a lot of cancellation, it had to be refunding and things like those. And it was my stocks that I had to run to, and it came in very handy. You know, I was able to pay my bills, to able to do what I need to do. So I just give God thanks. I mean, everything that I'm doing, I put God first and strength he's the one who give me ideas and to be able to do what I'm doing. And in my business, I am a counselor because I just don't, when couples come to make plans for their weddings or whatever function, I use it as an opportunity to witness to them and to show them what God can do. Because if this little country girl from Catadupa, who used to make drops and sit at our gate and sell it, and if she can achieve and have a place now that people can come and enjoy themselves and have their weddings and have their functions, who could it be but God? And if God could do it for me and for my husband, two country people, if he could have done it for us, he can do it for anybody. And I would encourage young people that you have to have a plan, you have to aim, you have to look and know that you want something out of life. It's not the bling bling and the false here and the hype that won't put us anywhere. So if I remember at one stage when I was at Blue Diamond and they were selling out the property out by Iron Shore there, and I went up to the office at property. And when I went up there and look at the plan and they were showing the different places and telling this person buying that person buying that. And when I looked at it and it was quoted in US dollars. And on my way down, I started to cry in my car. And I was saying, my father worked with telephone company for years and he didn't make any provision to leave something for his children. And I take that scripture out of Proverbs that say that a good man leave an inheritance for his children. And I tell myself and my husband and myself that we will not let that happen to us. There is something that we will have to leave that our children can continue with it. And I just pray and hope that whatever we leave, they will not squander it and they will not waste it, but they will be able to use it so that others will be blessed and God will be glorified. So that is my journey.